And pleased to be joined for an update on St. Lawrence College by Glenn Volbrecht. Welcome to the show, Glenn.
Hello, Gabriel. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here, and certainly some challenging times, but also some exciting changes and a renewed focus on the role that SLC does play in our communities. But let's start with those challenges because we know that over the last couple of months, our post-secondary sector has faced enormous challenges. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit for us on those challenges that are currently being faced by colleges and universities.
Yes, thanks, Gabriel. Yeah, no, probably started, I would say, about a year ago, January. I have the exact date and time, actually, January 22nd, 2024. Federal government made a number of significant decisions regarding student education, specifically to international education, and specifically in terms of what programs were eligible for students. And this sent an incredible shock throughout the sector, not only in Ontario but throughout Canada. And we've been adjusting. We've been adjusting ever since. So, essentially. For St. Lawrence College, and as you know, we have campuses in Kingston, Cornwall, and Brockville, and we also had a partner in Toronto. It essentially meant that our overall enrollment would go from roughly 12,000 to 7,000. And that's a significant drop, as you can imagine, with a significant loss of revenue.
Absolutely. So, as you've alluded to, you've been working hard ever since to adapt and to make changes to address this new shortfall in obviously revenue from that. So, talk to us a little bit about the changes that were recently announced for specifically for the Brockville and of course Cornwall, which is where our viewers are based. The changes that are coming to our campus.
Sure. So we have made some changes, but with every challenge comes opportunity, right? And we were talking about it earlier before we went live. Um, I'm very excited about the opportunity in Cornwall at our Cornwall location. We have a tremendous program offering there, a great community culture, and the changes that we've made. It's probably almost better to look at it in terms of what are some of the things that we're going to be able to do to meet students where they are, the type of programming that they need that meets labor market needs in different modalities so that they can study, whether it be, in person, online, or, a combination thereof. So some of the things in Cornwall, for example, that remain the same, and I always like to say that because, as we've all read, some misinformation that has been out there. Our health office will continue to provide tremendous community services. We will still have food services. We'll still have the incredible, location that we have by the water. I would say it's probably the nicest location in the Ontario College system. All of our healthcare labs, our paramedic labs, our trades facilities, all those things that make our location a tremendous place to study and to work. We will be, doing changes in terms of utilizing technology to offer different types of services in terms of library services, in terms of accessibility services, and in terms of general student support. More moving to almost like a concierge system with student navigators and those types of things. But I'm pretty excited about what's happening at our Cornwall location. We've just started our consultation with our internal community, and the team had some great meetings yesterday, actually, in Cornwall and in Brockville, because we really want to design these, a new, more modern way of delivering education based on what the folks that are working there tell us. Right, so we want to get that input from both Brockville and Cornwall and Kingston, because there'll be changes. There'll be changes there as well, so that we're able to deliver the quality education that we always have. But if I may, I probably should have started off with saying the fact that we we've been in Brockville, Cornwall, and Kingston for close to 60 years now. And that was incredibly important for us as a college. If you look at what's happening across the province and what's happening across the country, there are campuses being closed, right? And I can tell you right now that was never, ever on the table. We are strong because of our Cornwall, Brockville, and Kingston locations, and that was always a number one thing for us. So, I always like to say, like, the easiest thing to do when you're pressed for funds, when you need to be efficient, you're doing these efficiency studies with government and everything, the easiest thing to do is to centralize everything. That was never on the table for us because of the great locations that we have in Cornwall and Brockville and Kingston.
Absolutely, and they are integral parts, obviously, of the communities that they're in. And you mentioned, of course, just the evolution of education, and certainly the college experience is not the same nowadays with technology as it was 10 years ago, let alone 20, 30 years ago. So maybe elaborate a little bit more on how technology can help shape this and really bring education into the 21st century.
You're not kidding, Gabriel. I'm a college grad as well, back in '83, if I may say. So you can do the math, and technology certainly has changed. And I will say there's always, as we started the session with, there's always opportunity when there's challenge. And during the COVID period, we were able to accelerate our technology probably 10 years, and what would have taken us 10 years in a matter of months. It has evolved tremendously since COVID. I'm not saying the education that was provided during that part was probably where we all wanted to be, but it really kick-started the technology piece. So just being able to offer hybrid type classes, high flex classes where you have people studying in different locations, coming in from all different spots, and you have people right on site with a faculty member who's teaching to all. That type of technology exists, and that's what we're implementing, and that's what we're doing. We do it now, as a matter of fact, in a lot of areas. So, students have really, student questions don't come between 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Quite often, student questions come at 8:30, 9:30. You remember, they probably come around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning as well. So we're trying to be able to adapt to meet students during, when they need support, when they need help, when they need answers to the questions that they have, and technology is allowing us to do that.
And a little earlier, you mentioned, of course, the mandate is, of course, to prepare students for their field, right, for the jobs. We know that course offerings are changing as well, but that goes hand in hand with an evolving job market. You want to ensure that the education is there for the jobs that are there. And I know that a tenet of St. Lawrence College has been how many graduates are working in the fields in which they studied. So maybe talk to me a little bit about that and how course offerings evolve as well with the needs of the job market.
Yeah, no, great point, Gabriel. And colleges were set up to serve the labor market, right? Back in '67, when Premier Bill Davis at the time set up the system, and that's one of the things as well that we talk about. Sometimes people focus on the programs that are closing. I'm trying to focus on the programs that we need to develop in order to meet labor market needs, because the programs change. They change every 2, 3, 4 years, right? And some technologies programs need to change every 2 years. And so, we're a constant evolution of what we need to offer in our communities. Look at the beautiful city of Cornwall, how it's changed in the last 20 to 30 years, right? So we need to meet the community where it's at and develop those programs. And developing programs doesn't need to be a 3, 4 year journey. There's a number of ways to do it. If other colleges are offering it, we can, negotiate with those colleges to buy that curriculum and SLCize it, make it applicable to Cornwall. There's all kinds of ways that you can get new programs up and running very, very fast, because that's what we need to do. In particular in the environment that we're living in these days. And Cornwall's a border town, and we're all going to be affected probably for the, if not the immediate future, for for the most part, this is going to continue for quite some time, and we need to be able to respond to that as a community college. We've always been nimble, we've always been quick to be able to respond, and we now need to continue that more than ever right now. So.
And of course, we've talked a little bit about the funding challenges. What are you hoping to see in the future? Because at the end of the day, I'm sure we're looking at higher levels of government and always saying this is what we need to, to continue this evolution and to best serve our students. So, no crystal balls, but if you had your wish list for what we could see in the future in terms of continuing to strengthen and maintain our excellent college and university system, what would be on your wish list?
Well, one of the things we're very fortunate as a college and as a sector in that our minister, Minister Quinn, is a college grad. He understands it. He gets it. He's a huge supporter of higher ed, and in particular the college system. Being a college grad, I'm a college grad, as I mentioned, and I don't see colleges as an expense for government. Right? Colleges are an investment. It's an investment in talent. And we're providing that talent pipeline to help us combat things like the tariffs, to help us combat, productivity challenges throughout this country. A dollar into investment in college is going to return about $16 for folks for government. It is a fantastic investment. So I am confident with the leaders that we have in provincial government that they'll meet our funding challenges, and we do have them. It's not colleges whining about they need more money. We do have them. Our revenues are essentially in 2012 2013 dollars, and our expenses are in 2025. And I would, any business model that can survive in 2012 revenues with 2025 expenses, I'd love to see what that model looks like. I can tell you it doesn't work for us. So we do have legitimate challenges, but I am very confident that government will see colleges as they always have it. We're an investment for talent, an investment for the communities in Ontario.
And just finally, as you alluded to, with those challenges, of course, comes opportunity, but change can be hard. So for your message to students and the communities that might be a little anxious about the future, what is your final message to our viewers, to students, and to the communities of Brockville and Cornwall?
Come down to Cornwall, come to our location. It's an amazing place. Come to open house. The strength of our college doesn't have to do with dollars and cents. It has to do with people. Meet our faculty, right? Meet our support staff, meet our admin and management team. Everybody at St. Lawrence College cares about education. We care about students. We want them to succeed. So that's not a dollar and cent thing. That's about people, and really that's what education is about, right? So come on down, check us out. Talk to faculty. Talk to. I'll be there as well, bright and early. Once you walk on to the Cornwall location, take a look at that river, that beautiful sunshine, the water, the beautiful facilities. There's no better place to go and study.
Glenn, once again, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck.
Great, thanks, Gabriel. Please, pleasure to be here, and thanks for asking.